This is Njambiz. You're feeling shy? Why are you feeling shy? Why are you feeling shy? Why are you feeling shy? No one is there. You're feeling shy? There's no one there. There's no one there. Why are you feeling shy? This is Njambiz. Welcome to my channel. You've probably already figured out what this video will be about because of the title. So today I want to share some of the challenges I encountered as a working mom, having a full-time job and being a mom to a very young Kiran at the same time. And obviously I'm not in employment anymore, so I wanted to do this while it's still fresh before I forget it, before I forget everything. So these are some of the challenges I encountered as a working mom. I'm still a working mom, just in my own business, so the hours are a bit more flexible and I'm able to spend a bit more time with Kiran. And I did mention motherhood was one of the main reasons I went into business in my previous videos. If you haven't watched, try and catch up with the rest of the videos. Check them out. Okay, so let's begin. Separation anxiety. I'm pretty sure even just from the name you've already figured out, like you can just tell what that is. Separation anxiety is real, and especially when you have really bonded with your child. You've been spending months, weeks with your child, just a lot of one-on-one time, and now you have to leave them for a full day. It is nerve-wracking, and separation anxiety doesn't just happen to the child, it happens to the mom as well. And I'm speaking of moms because this is my experience, based on my experience. I can't speak for the dads, unfortunately. But separation anxiety, you really do feel that, what can I even call it? It's such a restlessness and uneasiness about being away from your child for so long, and both of you will have the same thing throughout the day, and it's very hard. It's very hard sometimes to even focus on work when you're thinking of your child at home, and especially when they're really, really young. It's very hard to leave them. It's very hard. It gets easier with time as you both get used to it, but still, it's very hard to leave your baby, go to work the full day. You don't know how they're doing. You keep calling in to find out how they're doing. You'll hear Kiran in the background. If the background noise gets too much, excuse him. So yeah, you're calling throughout the day. How is my baby doing? And I don't know. There's just a certain level of anxiety just by leaving your child, and they also get restless as well when you're gone. So that's one of the challenges. And unfortunately, with employment, the hours aren't that flexible, so you have to put in your work hours, and what can you do? You have to work. There's no other choice. Child care. The stories I can tell you about, the things I have seen. Oh my God. Let me tell you, proper child care is hard to find. And when you do find it, it's kind of expensive. But proper child care is hard to find. I have gone through house helps, / nannies, whatever you're hiring. I've gone through house helps, and the things I've seen, and even the things I've been told by other moms, the stories we can share, it's horrifying. These people do not understand child care. They do not understand how to care for your child. And for the ones who do, there are good ones out there. They're rare, but they're there. And some of them are a bit more expensive than you can probably afford. in some of our situations, but the things these people show you. Let me tell you, there's a time, and it's not just house helps, daycares as well. I've had my share of experiences, bad experiences with daycares as well. There's a daycare that I took Kiran to when he was about a year old. And I remember I went to pick him up. They're trying to force feed him. He's crying. He doesn't want the food. And I'm wondering what's going on. When I get close, the food smells. It was milk. It had milk in it. So it smelled. The milk was spoiled. You can smell it from literally a foot or more away. But the person feeding them is just insisting. The milk was spoiled. The food was stinking. It was all spoiled. And the person feeding him doesn't seem to care or to notice. They're trying to force feed the food on him. He's crying. That was when I decided daycares. No more with daycares. Because how do you feed a child spoiled food and not even, it smells. It's literally next to your nose. And I can smell it from several steps away from you. And you're still insisting the child is crying. That should be your first clue. The child is crying. Daycares. House helps as well. Just say, I had a house help. Actually, just before I left work employment, I had a house help who I don't even know what they were doing, because in the period I was working with her, Kiran was getting sick a lot. He was getting sick a lot. He developed allergies that he didn't even have before. He's having allergic reactions. He's getting very sick, and I'm wondering, what is it? The food hasn't changed. He's still on the same diet. I didn't understand, but I did suspect there was a hygiene issue with her, even though I tried to teach her about hygiene, but that didn't seem to sink in, or she was listening. Then when I'm away, she does what she wants, because, well, I can't really monitor her. So Kiran was getting sick a lot, and I just had to let her go. And that was my final straw. I was like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. So good childcare is hard to find. Very, very hard to find. And the good and the really good ones are few. The good, affordable ones are few. The other ones are very expensive. And speaking of illness and sickness, like I said, the last caregiver I had was doing some shady stuff, because Kiran was getting sick a lot. And the other thing about you having a sick child is, children tend to cling to you as the mom. When they're sick, they'll cling. Speaking of cleanliness, someone wants to join in the video. I didn't say you were clingy. Who said you were clingy? Acha mami amalize. Okay. It's very hard to go to work when you have a sick child at home, and sometimes your employer may be a bit understanding when you take a day or two off because your child is sick and they're very young. But at some point they start to see it like, what do you mean? What can I call it? You can't take that many days, and sometimes illness doesn't exactly go away. They don't get better in a day or two. You can't say, okay, it's been a day or two, I have to go back to work. I'll have to just leave him, have someone else care for him. I know you can do that, but it's very hard being away from your child as it is. But being away from your child when they're sick is heartbreaking. It's very hard. It's very, very hard. Because even leaving them, they feel, like I was saying, babies, when they're feeling sick, when they're feeling any type of way, they just want mom. Mom is the solution to all my problems. Mom is the solution to all your problems. So when they're feeling ill, they'll want you around even more. And if you can't be there, it's heartbreaking. It's really heartbreaking, because you take a day off, you take 2 days off, your child hasn't gotten better, you take a week off, and your employer is like, no, this is getting out of hand. And what can you do? It gets crazy. It gets crazy. But again, you have to provide, you have to work. What can you do? These are the challenges. These are the challenges that even employers should start to consider for moms who have small babies. Just work with us. Work with us to find solutions. We understand that it's a business. You have to put in the work hours. You have to work to earn your money, but at the same time, you have to be a parent. You have to be a mother. And when you have to choose between your career and your child will always come first. Always come first. So I guess that's the choice I made. I chose my child. The other problem is exhaustion. Exhaustion. Let me tell you, when you have a child who's waking up several times in the night to breastfeed, and then you have to be up at 5 a.m. to get ready for work, you're working the whole day, in the evening you come back, you want to spend some time with your child, you spend some time with your child, you do whatever you need to do in the evening, then sleep, and you're up again several hours in the night. Let me tell you, that routine is exhausting. There's a time I saw a quote that said, tired is no longer a state for me. It's part of my personality. And I thought, yes, because when you're a working mom, and especially when your child is still breastfeeding, exhaustion becomes a part of you. It is exhausting. You have to be up several times in the night, and it's not like you're up 10 minutes and back to sleep. You're probably up 30 minutes to an hour, and you're not getting continuous sleep, you're not getting continuous rest. It's exhausting, and sometimes it takes its toll on you. It's very exhausting. Work, motherhood, life balance. When you're a working mom and when your child is still pretty young, under 3, it's crazy. It's crazy. And the craziest part of it is you never feel like you're quite doing enough in any area, because you're spread so thin. There are not enough hours in the day to help that balance actually balance. Because let me tell you, the hardest thing about being a working mom is missing a milestone. Missing a milestone, maybe your child said the first word or took the first step and you weren't there to see it. It's hard. It's really heartbreaking to miss those moments. And then at the same time, you're putting in hours at work, and it never feels like you're giving it everything you can, because part of you is also hoping and wishing to be at home and worrying about your child and exhaustion and everything. So you don't feel like you're doing enough at work, you're not doing enough as a mom, you're not doing enough. Nothing is balancing. It really doesn't. It never feels like it has balanced, because you're not getting enough time with your child, and you're not feeling like you. Okay, in my case, this is as per my experience. It may not be the same as everyone, but you're not feeling like you're giving your job your all, and you're not feeling like you're giving your child your all. So there's that feeling of not, what is it? Just you're not doing enough. You just feel like you're not doing enough, and especially when, again, like missing the milestones, and those times when you're leaving early in the morning, you leave your child sleeping, you probably get home late and find your child has gone to sleep, you haven't seen them all day. It's not fun. It's just not fun. Most times you'll probably wake them up, but it's hard to balance those things. Very hard to balance. That's all I had to share today. Those were my challenges as a working mom, and much as it's tough, it's hard, you do it all over again with another child, because these babies, these little angels, are bundles of joy. You just it's worth it. It's just worth it at the end of the day. It's totally worth it. And you love your career, you have to provide. You just do it. What can you do? The only thing that would probably make it easier for moms is if employers were a bit more flexible with the working hours or working from home, because in this digital era, we don't really need to be seated at the desk in the office to get things done, to accomplish things. You can do this from anywhere. We are in a new age. I think the sooner employers get to accept this, the easier it will be, and the more productive the moms become when they have a bit more control over the motherhood aspect of their lives, in my opinion. So yeah, that's all I had to share today. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If you can relate to this video, give it a thumbs up, and let me know in the comment section below. If you had different sets of challenges, let me know in the comment below. If you're an employer and you have working moms. And by the way, we should also extend maternity leave. We should really think about extending maternity leave. No mom should have to leave her newborn baby before they are 6 months old, in my opinion. There's a reason doctors say exclusive breastfeeding for 6 months. Give the moms up to 6 months to breastfeed their child, to take care of their child, then they can come back to work. You can give them the 3 months leave, then have them work from home the other 3 months before they report to the office. That's my 2 cents. Anyway, comment below. Give me your feedback on this video if you can relate and all. Comment below. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Subscribe for more videos on motherhood, life in general. And I'll see you next time.